The Jordon Show.
Yo, believe in yourself, get ready for a new start. You write the script, give yourself a new part. Everybody wants to surf the wave, but to do that you must avoid the shark. Cause we're older, a little bit wiser. We listen to our head, but the heart's the advisor. No matter how dark that the skies are, close your eyes and think to yourself, I can, I will overcome this hill. I can, I will.
On October of last year, Gwenton Sloely's house was raided by the Metropolitan police. He says valuable items were illegally removed and damages were not repaired or replaced. In addition to this, Gwenton Sloely has lost contracts around the country due to the police calling around to inform Gwenton's clients of the raid, even though they were looking for someone who lived in the property 5 years before. Gwenton is now pursuing $3 million for damages and defamation of character. Gwenton Sloely came to my show to give an in-depth account.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm
good.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, good to see you again. Good to see you again.
Always good, man.
To the listeners and the viewers, this is the Jordon Show. I've got Gwenton Sloely back again.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. First things first, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well, brother.
Since last time you came on my show, there's been a lot of things that have happened, and you only came on my show, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you was giving me some insights in the show, which I'll be honest, it went straight over my head.
Yeah, obviously. You're not going to really look into that, but you can feel the edge was there. Even when I listen back to the show, you could feel the show was a bit edgy.
It was edgy, and
it was.
Can I say you was apprehensive? I was asking you particular questions, and I see you tense up, and you was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you didn't want to answer particular questions, and I didn't know why back then.
Yeah.
But now, it's come to light,
Things weren't in the public then, and it's like, with me, I always try to play fair, no matter what it is. So we play fair first. You don't want to play fair, then we have to do what we have to do. No matter what field it is, same rules apply to everything. And if we then start forgetting the basics, then we get ourselves in trouble. So it's what it is.
So for those people who don't know, do you want to just give the people a little rundown of who Gwenton Sloely is?
All right, so my name's Gwenton Sloely, director of Crying Sons. We set that up over 10 years ago to help the young people in the community. And even if we go far back from even before that, forget Crying Sons, let's go back to the real history. So I'm out there seeing the youths on the road doing madness. Could have took advantage of a lot of them, but I decided I'm gonna buy a camera. Them time there weren't no SBTV and all these other link up and all of that. They weren't about then. And I was driving all the way to Essex with the youths in my car, and filming youths rapping, having them battling and all of that with other youths. But then at the same time I'm trying to do that, I got my own issues with certain people in other areas. So it was like, I want to go over there and film them boy there, but I don't want to go over there and be loose balling and then something happens. So after a while it's like, you know what, this video thing is long, and I gave that up. When I gave that up, I then got a call from a guy called Alton Bell, who was running a housing project in Hackney at the time, trying to help move gang members out the area. He's an older man, but times had changed, so he needed some young blood around him to show him what it was that was really going on the road. At that time it was postcode war, so certain people couldn't cross the road, other people could come across the road, but then they have to pretend that they're friends with them. It was just messy. So the man brought me on board, gave me a job, also gave me my first property as well. I have to respect Alton for that, I'll never forget that, because when I came out of jail in 2005, first they banned me from all London jails, so let's get that straight. So I've gone to prison as a young person, they've banned me from all young offenders jail. So when all my friends were in Feltham...
Why was you banned? Sorry, why was you banned?
I'll never know what they wrote on the files why I was banned. So they sent me straight to adult jail, so I went straight to high down. So
At what age was this?
I just turned 19, I could have still gone to Feltham at the time because some of my friends were still in the young offenders jail. But they sent me straight to high down where it was only one bit of the jail that had young people on there, and it was mad. Because everyone was just wild. You come out, someone's attacking someone, blah, blah, blah. And I then come out of jail, the police deliberately came for me when I had 3 weeks left to go. So I've spent 3 years in jail. I had 3 weeks left to go. They come and found me, claimed that they didn't know where I was. How can you not know where I was for 3 years? I've been in jail. They banned me from driving when I come out to stop me moving around. So I was on my bike. So a certain time I was moving in a car I wasn't even meant to be.
So
driving.
what kind of time was this? 2000?
This was 2005.
2005,
Yeah,
yeah.
2005.
Okay.
So once I came off the driving ban, I went and got my license and start doing this filming stuff. Filming thing, as I said, didn't work out. So I started working with this housing association to move people around the country. I then went over, after Alton left, they brought in another guy from, I think, Newham or East Ham, somewhere in East anyway, because one thing with people from Hackney, we don't class ourselves as East people. We're Hackney people, and Stratford and all them areas are where the musicians are from, so we let them have East. We're from Hackney, and we're different. So the guy was from East, so he didn't understand that certain people you can't move next to other people because then you have problems in the homes. So he brought me on board, this guy called Steve, and I have to pay homage to Steve as well, because certain things I learned from that guy has kept me going up to today. The guy was one of the best trainers that I've come across. Everything I learned from the start, from delivering training, was because of being around that guy. So helped him set up the first lower end witness protection gang exit program in Southwark with Jonathan Toy and Inspector Paul Anstey. And that was a unique project at the time, because in Peckham they had a lot of shootings, people getting killed, burnt in cars. It was mad. And no one really wanted to work in Southwark at the time. So we've gone over there and given people an alternative to murdering each other, where if you wanted to leave, even though you've done madness before, and you woke up this morning and said, you know what, I want to change my life, Serve was there to help you leave. If you've been a victim of crime, Serve was also there. So it was a balance for victim and perpetrators. Nowhere else could you tell me in the country at that time was running something so robust as what we was doing in Southwark. Then the police saw what we'd done in Southwark. They then called me to come over to Waltham Forest with SED3 and people like Bethan, and we set up the same thing in Waltham Forest. That was a success. Lewisham then called me, because this I ended up in Lewisham.
Is that when I met with you?
Even before that. Even before
Right,
I met
okay.
you. So come over to Lewisham, and the police wanted to set up the same thing like what they had in Southwark, neighbouring borough. Lewisham and Southwark had big problems at the time, so it will only be sensible to set up the same thing in Lewisham. So we set up the Trilogy Plus. They already had Trilogy, which was the police that go raiding houses and all of that. But the Trilogy Plus and Trilogy work together as one. So you might go raid a house, there's a young brother or young sister in there that needs help. You'll be like, you know what, earlier I went in this house, there's a vulnerable kid there. Could the plus side go out and offer the help? Long story short, that was a success. The police then called me again to set up something called Safe and Secure. This now was meant to be pan-London, where anyone in London that was having gang issues or you're being groomed or whatever, and you needed help, could move you or your family out in like 24 hours. There was nothing else like it. So we started moving people around the country. That was such a success. They then decided that they wanted to do it bigger, bring on the G15 Housing Association.
Wow, so it's just escalated,
It's just escalated, yeah. Because at the time, shootings, the way that we've got knife crime now is how we had gunplay back then. So people were just getting shot like it was nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, in your house, christening, everyone, you just get shot anyway. So it was a success and reduced the gun crime by a large margin. They then came out of London Gang Exit and practically hijacked the program of us, then gave it to Safer London, and it's still going up to today, the London Gang Exit. After that, I was then contacted by Lewisham Police. That's when I met you. They said that they wanted to do a call-in. So what a call-in is a Boston model from America. It's called a Boston ceasefire model, which they claim they used on the Bloods and Crips. Don't know how successful that is, because from ever since, the Bloods and Crips are still killing each other up to today. So that nonsense there shouldn't even have been looked at. So anyway, all local authorities were forced to use this Boston ceasefire model. That's when I met you. And after that, the police then asked me, could you come over and go out with us in the night and try and engage with these gang members? So I thought, all right, 1-2 night, little consultancy wages is good. So I come over, I'll be here 1-2 nights, drive around the youths. Took me a while for the youths to understand I'm not police. Because they're like, why are you out with the police?
I was going to say that because like, how did that kind of work?
It took years for the youths to understand, look, all Gwenton's about is trying to help us. A lot of them thought, no, my man's Trident, he's special police, rah, rah, rah. Until when they're getting shot, they're bleeding to death or they're hiding in bushes. They're like, yo, Gwenton, I'm in a bush, someone want to murder me. They just beat some shots after me. Get them special police that you work with to come get me out the bush, or I've stolen someone's drug, they're going to murder my family tonight, I need your help. So it was only that, and then it's like, yeah, Gwenton's cool, because now I've helped you, you go tell your friend you're in a bit of a jam, Gwenton will come and help you. So after a while, the youths then saw that, wait a minute, my guy is just here trying to help us. Although he's with the police and whatever else, he's just trying to help us.
This is a unique position that you created for yourself, right? Because you got this trust of the streets, and the community, and then the Metropolitan Police Force are empowering you to do this work.
To do that. So I'm building a bridge between the community and the police. And something that I didn't know about at the time was the New Cross fire. I didn't really understand. I grew up in Hackney, and in Hackney Downs they had benches and that there to represent the people that lost their life in the fire.
Yeah.
So a lot of the older community members, 50 plus, was mad when they saw me with the police. Like, young black man got potential, you rolling with the police. Yo, be careful with them people there now, because back in the day they used to deal with us a certain way. But I didn't understand the extent to their anger towards the council and the police at that time. So after a while, they supported me up to now. Them same community people supported me and protected me from certain destruction that I could have ended up in. So from early, I've had the protection from the elders in the Lewisham community, because they could see I'm trying to help the youths. And what they would then do is, if they had a problem with the youths, they would then call me and say, Gwent, and we'll talk to this youth, or we're having a community meeting, we need you to come and speak. Or when the youths die, I'm at the 9 nights talking to the friends, don't go out and go get yourself for 25 years, blah, blah, blah. You understand? So after a while, the trust in the community was there. I then started working with the Trilogy Plus unit, because as we carry on throughout the process, you'll understand why I'm emphasizing on that point. So I was a consultant working with the police. I weren't the police. I'm not into gathering intelligence. All I was there to do was help people and their families get the services that they needed. After a while, after about 6 years of working with the police, I then was moved into community safety. So I started working within the council with community safety, doing the same thing, but now I'm there to teach a team of people that have no idea of how to work with young people that will probably have their gun on them or their knife on them without calling the police to get them arrested. You understand? So I had to teach the team that, because a lot of them have come from youth clubs, or they're ex-people working in the youth offending team that don't have a clue how to do that dynamic work without doing funky stuff at the same time. So I was there for about 18 months doing that work. Same time I'm there, I'm up and down the country training the police. So in 2016, I trained all the Met Police in London.
You trained all the Met
Police? All
Police?
the police, every single police station.
And that's 2000 and?
2000 and something. I even trained the new ones. So when they had their little shiny boots, soon as they graduated, coming in with their shiny boots and their big smile, their first day at police, I was training them as well. So they're leaving Hendon, Gwenton's training them. Yeah. So trained all the police in
Can I just ask, just before you go any further, when you was training them, when you were training all the police, what was the atmosphere like?
Some of them, I'm not gonna lie, I'll give you an example. I remember once I come to train Lewisham Police, and I think it was Trident was based there at the time, or the TSG, one or two of them, and they've just come back from a raid, so their adrenaline's mad, but they've been told they have to go on a training with this guy.
Yeah.
So they've come in and they screw up their face and they're sitting down there, and all I'm trying to do with my PowerPoint, they're like, you can't tell us nothing, we do all the work around London, we know everything, blah, blah, blah. I looked at them and I'm thinking, you know what, scrap the training, cool. So I said, what you know about London? Break it down to me. What's the difference between Southwark and Lewisham? What's the difference between Tower Hamlets and Hackney? then they pipe down. I'm like, you don't understand. What you understand is from the police side. You never understand the community because you've never been out there and breathed it from the other side of the street. So when I'm delivering my training, don't disrupt the place. So obviously I had to drop little things in to relax them, and then they behave themselves and started engaging in training. Other people were like, oh my gosh, we've met a real life one, can we touch him? You know, like they've never been close to someone that's been out there and actually participated in the other side of the road.
Because I'm thinking, you look and sound like probably the people that they're trying to, you know what I'm saying?
But I could also speak their language.
Right,
you understand? Is whatever environment you're in, you learn how to adapt to that. Right. Obviously, they're there. I can see some of them are so excited, they're bursting. Although I'm delivering the training to them, they're like, I can't wait till this finishes. I just want to talk to this guy. You've got that effect though. I've been in your training. You've got that effect. They added me on social media as I'm delivering and saying this is the best training in their life. But it was, for me, it was good. I'm not going to lie to you, because I finally got to show these people that even the way they used to deal with me as a youth, there was no need for that. Because it's like most of their training is about proactive attacking instead of investigating and offering support. Most people are out there, all they need is someone to be a bit polite to them. And a simple example, you stop and search someone, you don't jump out your van and intimidate someone. Because it's the same as someone jumping out of a white van with balaclavas on, when a bunch of people jumping out their van with big boots running up to you, stay where you are, so your freedom's gone immediately. It's the way you do stuff. So you could easily say to someone, no, what, not going to take up much of your time, but there's been a lot of crime in this area, and once we check your details, you'll be on your way. Do it politely, like people are human. So simple basic training is that you see a youth in a house and you catch him with 10, 20 grand, instead of criminalising the youth, find out if the youth's been forced to sit there. What's the 11-year-old boy doing with 20, 30 grand when he's meant to be in school? So I had to change their thought process, because those sort of training they don't get. All they get is about how do we deal with crime and all of that. So it was fun. And even, I'll give you an example. One day I was driving, changing number plates on my car, and I forgot that when you change your number plates, you have to ring the DVLA and tell them. So anyway, coming through Oval, the police have pulled me over. This young one's come out his car, and his sergeant's in there. So the sergeant slowly gets out like he's Robocop, but he's there holding his corner, like watching to see how his staff does the job. And the guy's gone, your car ain't got no insurance, what's your name? So I said, first thing, you don't talk to me like that. But he's looking at me like, whoa, I didn't expect that. I said, nah, that's not how you talk to people. For you to pull me over on radio, you must know who I am. You could have my license, but you don't come with that sort of attitude. But the sergeant's looking at me like, with a kind of look like smiling. So I'm like, boy, whatever, smile all you want, just make sure that your staff does their job. So the young guy's going on and on, what's your name? I said, my license there, you go check my name, we don't need to talk, do your job. So then the sergeant says, I know who he is, he trained me, and I laughed. And that's the effect that you have certain time, you go around the country, you meet up certain people, and they're coming up to you saying hello, you're like, I don't even know where I know you from, and you've trained them. So this is now a guy that's just got promotion, but he's now watching his colleagues go through their paces, and it's those sort of interaction that make you feel like, you know what, at least the respect's there from some of them because of the work that you've done. So trained the Met Police 216, 217 I went to Thames Valley out in the bushes, trained all the commanders over there, went over to Hampshire.
The commanders.
So the people
you
that
brush
run.
over this like it's nothing, like it's, you know, this is a big deal.
It is,
this
but
is a big deal.
You know what it is?
People, like, I want people to understand the magnitude of where this is going. You're training the commanders now. So this is Gwenton from Hackney.
Yeah, I know.
You've done what you've done. All of a sudden you're, you know, fast forward X amount of years and you're training the commanders of the police.
Well, you know what it is? I've always got this thing to stay humble.
I understand.
Don't let things get to your head.
But I want people to understand.
All right, so commanders are people that control the whole area.
Right.
So one commander will control. So now they've changed it in London where one commander controls 3 areas. So Greenwich, Bexley and Lewisham will control by one man. So when I'm saying training the commanders, I'm training the people that are the head police of each of
That's what I'm saying.
each area. So done that in 2017. After the crime squad, the organised crime squad in Hampshire then said, Gwent, we want you to headline all of our events going forward. So me, Sammy Woodhouse, who broke the Rotherham sex scandal, me and her will be the headliners. They'll have someone from the Home Office and Bernardo's. So I'm in certain places where you're driving, you ain't even got no reception, and the next thing you see on the wall is police headquarters, and you turn in there. I remember once I walked into these headquarters and they were training the police how to do close contact bodyguarding. And when I walked in there, the whole of them stopped like, what's this guy doing there? He's pulled up in his car with tinted windows and he jumped out. And it's those things that I love, because they've probably never seen someone like me turn up in their headquarters and be walking through.
You're breaking the stereotype.
All right, so we done that. Then after Surrey called me up, and I was in Surrey 2018 training all the officers over in Surrey as well. And I also had contracts around the country training social workers, foster carers, wherever people was working with young people at risk or being affected by gangs or county lines, I was there. So it's only now when I reflect and think, certain time I was putting some mad mileage on my car or up and down the train traveling to deliver all over the country, certain places where drug dealers don't even go. And although they talk about drug dealers are everywhere, certain places the drug dealers have never been, because there's no one to sell drugs to in the middle of the bushes, you understand? So yeah, so doing all of that, enjoying life like I'm a rock star. You understand? I'm legal. I remember I used to run joke with the little youth selling their drugs, like, boy, I'm legally trapping. I'm selling training for whatever the price is. You understand? So it was fun until...
And we've all been watching you, bruv. We've all been watching, supporting and clapping and been, you know what I'm saying? We've all been watching you, so...
It was fun, and I'm not going to lie that. But then we also have to remember the dangers that come along with that as well, because this is what no one really sat down and said to me, apart from Lee Jasper, who reminded me that when he was the biggest guy in the community, when he was in the mayor's office, how that went horribly wrong and they're searching through your dustbins and whatever else. So I got warning from certain people of just keep yourself clean, keep everyone around you clean, because they're going to check you. There's no one else like you in the country doing what you're doing. So just be on point.
So people are starting, when you're sort of escalating...
Once you get to a certain bit, and you
are warning you now.
They're warning me, and then I even have certain people thinking that, he must be doing funny things, or the doors are opening for him so quick. And I'm laughing, because I'm thinking, if you ever knew, if I was doing funky things, I would have blown. Like, ridiculously blown. I would have got certain rewards that you see certain man doing and collecting when you don't even know what work they've done, but because they've joined the boys club, they're getting certain awards. I never joined no boys club. I kept it straight spiritual and kept it moving, you understand? So that everything was going well for me until I can't even skip that first part. So the mayoral elections were coming up for Lewisham. Steve Bollock, amazing guy, was leaving at last. No one can't go up against Steve. So the minute we saw Steve was leaving, it was like everyone in the community, like, who's going to run for mayor? As a joke. Dwayne Brooks said he was going to run. So Dwayne was running. So the community decided that they were going to get behind Dwayne and support Dwayne. And I must have made a joke once, and I said, boy, I got kind of a good following in the area. I'm going to run as well. As a joke, I'm not going to really run, because if the next man's running, why am I going to run as well? So I said that as a joke. The next thing I know, I got private investigators following me around the place. 52 days.
So just for my ignorant mind, when you say private investigators, I'm thinking like, you're driving, you look in your wing mirror, you see people,
I've had all of that.
People, so it's as literal as that. People following you around.
I've had all of that. I'm on the motorway and I look behind me. And what you have to remember, and I'm going to be straight with you because it's you. I've come from a place where I've had certain training to survive in the first place. So not because I'm now doing another job, I'm going to lose them training there.
Right.
So as I'm driving, every one of my car got a sports button on there. Yeah? And the sports button's on there for a reason. You understand? Because I don't relax. So I'm on the motorway, I'm driving. Next thing, something said to me, and I'm a man that follows my feelings. So something said to me, boom, put in sports mode and just blow on the other side of the road. So I go bam, 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 jump through the lanes, and I've just press the gas, jump back in the middle lane, and I'm cruising now. So as I'm jumping in the middle lane and I'm relaxing, I could see this black BMW creeping behind me. So I'm like, oh, whoa. The only time you see them things is when someone want to murder you or someone's following you. Cool. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drive so fast and then go past the turnoff where I meant to turn and then boom, jump across the turnoff. So I've done that. When I've got to the top of the hill, the car slowed down all the way because it has to follow me. The cars followed me on the turnoff. So what I done, I just pulled over without going around the roundabout, wait for the car to pull up next to me and wave to them. See, when I waved to the car just blew off. And I laughed. I said, come on now, you're making it too obvious what you're doing it. So anyway, gone to a meeting again. Never told these people where I live. And as I'm in the meeting, the guy comes out and says, oh, you live on the old football pitch. And I'm like, how you know where I live? I didn't tell you. This is a policeman telling me where I'm living. So I laughed. I said, oh, so they're doing their checks. So the time's finally arrived where people are...
So the warnings are coming.
Warnings, all sorts. I've been in my house and my plug's hanging off. I'm talking a plug that, unless you unscrew the thing, it can't be hanging off, yeah? So I got in my house, the plugs are hanging off. Next thing, the electrics on my car's playing up.
So they're letting you know.
No,
right?
they're not. I don't know.
This sloppy workmanship.
Sloppy workmanship. You understand what I'm saying to you? So plugs hanging off. So I'm like, all right, cool. You ring me, my phone's crackling, but you could hear someone in the background on my phone. So I'm talking to them. So let's say I'm phoning you and I'm like, wait, what's going on, bro? Blah, blah. And we're talking, but we could hear somebody else that isn't on the freeway with us in the phone. So I start talking to them to let them know, I know you're listening to me and Wayne talking, but we're not going to be talking any criminality, so you might as well stop wasting your time and log off. The next thing you hear, and the phone's cut off. What kind of madness is that?
Craziness.
Yeah, so change the number, same thing keep happening. So I think, you know what, it don't make sense. Because if you're going to work with these people, they're going to have your number anyway, so let them do what they do. So just keep yourself clean. So October's come. 2018, October's come, my birthday, October the 4th, for anyone that wants to send me a card next year, or this year, I should say. I've gone out to train the police. I'm thinking it's my birthday, still go make some money, blah, blah, blah. So I've gone out to train the police. Because of where I had to go, I had to leave at 6 in the morning. So I've left at 6 in the morning, driving on the motorway, listening to my tunes, blah, blah, blah. The phone call comes in, my neighbour's like, Gwenton, and the police are trying to pick your lock. What do you mean trying to pick my lock? All right, let me do something. So I've come off the phone, ringing around the people, the police, the other police that work next door to us. I'm like, why are there police at my house? No, we don't know anything about that. There shouldn't be any police at your house. If you're worried, go into the nearest police station and ask them why they're at your house. I'm thinking, I'm in the middle of the sticks. If you're up to something funky, I don't want to be sleeping in some country police station. So anyway, I left it as whatever, but I demanded that they gave me a CAD number, which you've got all the evidence for.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got the evidence for that. Anything I'm saying to you, you've got the evidence, so you can show the people them after.
Yep.
So I reported it, got my CAD number, and I left. Continued working. 4 days after I've left, dropped my son to school over in Essex, gone to work. When I've come home, my place is trash, boilers ripped off, air vents ripped off, they've stolen money, watches, like my personal stuff that should be safe in my house.
So they picked your locks. That was the first instance. Why don't you go mad then?
No, what I'm saying to you, they didn't go in the house.
But still, the police are trying to get in your house. So
they denied it was them. So I'm saying to my neighbour,
okay.
Are you sure it weren't bailiff or someone? You know, everyone's got a loose parking ticket here and there. So it's like, is it the bailiffs or someone coming for me for something or whatever it is? So I'm like, you know what? Certain time early in the morning, you probably mistake them for bailiff. But it was police, yeah. So they've come back 4 days after and gone in the place, trashed the place. Again, I've called the police. I think I've just been burgled. Was it the police that raided my house? No, nothing to do with us, sir. This is a Monday, the 8th of October. I've called them. So I've gone to work. Everyone's pretending to be normal. I've gone to work again the Wednesday. But I've gone to work the Tuesday. They raided me the Monday, 3 o'clock. So everyone should have known what the police had done before 5. Work finishes at 5. They raided me at 3. Yeah? So they could have passed that information on to all the local authorities that, yeah, we raided Gwenton's house. I went to work Tuesday, no one said anything. But I'm like, you know what? I don't want these people in my business because I have to work in the same place where I live. I don't want them knowing my business. Cool. Tuesday night, I'm coming back to train some police over in Croydon and the community. The police calls me and says, oh yeah, this is DS whatever or DI whatever. I just want to ask you, what address is yours? So immediately I realised, wait a minute, it was the police that went and done this to my house. So I said to the man, you should know what address it is. You're the one that went and smashed up my house. Don't come ask me what address it is. So clearly I'm seeing now they're trying to fish for something, but I'm not giving you what you're fishing for. So I'm like, come off my phone, man. You understand? Locked him off the phone, and I've called 999 now. This is where it gets interesting. So I've called 999 and I'm like, look, I want to report a break-in by the police. So the man on the other side never heard nothing like this in his life. So he's doing his best to try to talk me out of reporting the police for burglary. But I'm like, listen, I'm reporting the police for burglary because if you're someone else, you would receive that complaint. So you receive it as the police. The man's like, are you sure? I'm like, listen, I'm not going to change what I just said. The police have broken into my house illegally. So we're leaving it at that. He's like, I'm going to get the head of the police station to call you, blah, blah, blah. So I've gone in, done my training. When I've come out my training, about 11 o'clock at night, I get a phone call from some senior officer at the police. So I'm saying, listen, I don't really want to talk to you because you are friends with the people them that's broke into my house. Get another station to call me because I can't trust none of you. So Wednesday, I've gone into work now. But 9 o'clock in the morning, I've texted my line manager to say, yeah, although I'm a consultant, I still make them feel good and operate within the parameters of line manager. The girl weren't my line manager. She's the rest of the people them's line manager, but not to make her feel like I'm stepping on her, I pretend she's my line manager. So I've texted her, follow protocol, and I'm like, look, the police have gone into my house and they've taken stuff, blah, blah, blah. She's pretending she don't know. But what's funky about that, the same girl chairs the meeting with the police. So the day before was Tuesday. Every Tuesday they have a meeting with all the multi-agency people. So how could they not have told you that they ran up in my house? So it's either sloppy policing or the council and the police is in this madness together. Cool, so I've gone to work the Wednesday, told her that Wednesday morning. By 6 o'clock Wednesday night, they've said to me, oh, we're gonna have to suspend your work with us because the police have said that me as an individual, my address has been caught up in some sort of drugs and weapons thing. I'm like, what are you on about? Drugs and weapons? Are you mad? Anyway, the police then called me back the same time, asked me, when am I available? Let's listen to the words they use now. When am I available to come in for a voluntary interview? I'm going to repeat that word. Voluntary interview. I've never heard of a voluntary interview in my life, yeah? So I said to the man, listen, I'm busy. Probably about Friday. He's like, all right, we'll work around you, sir, whenever you're free. So I've gone in the Friday morning. When I've gone in there, the man's like, oh, what address is yours? So I'm like, if you've raided someone's house, shouldn't you know which address is mine? Clearly, I realized that they've messed up. So I'm like, I ain't telling you my address. Work it out yourself. 10 minutes gone by, I'm refusing to tell them my address. Then my legal team says, Gwenton, just tell the man the address so we could get this over and done with. So I told him my address. I've never seen a man want to die in his seat before. You know, like the man wanted to disappear. The man looked at the sky like, oh my God, we've messed up. So I said, yeah, why was you in my house? Then I find out that they've gone in my house looking for the person that used to live there 5 years ago. So the previous tenant that had the tenancy 5 years before me.
So they just completely messed up, turn your life upside down, and it's a mistake, is that?
They raided 4 homes on that same day. So 4 different addresses they raided on the same day. But when I'm in the interview, they're like, oh, we raided 2 houses. I'm like, whoa, 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 pull up a minute. Don't try it. You raided 4 properties that day. The man's like, oh, he knows what's going on. Yeah, I know what's going on. Don't try to be smart. You raided 4 houses, not just mine. You didn't know where the youth lived. You raided 4 houses. You never found him in my house. You never found nothing illegal in my house. Why am I here? Okay, sir, you're free to go. I left. That was it. Finished. The man was a nice man. When the thing stopped rolling, he's like, Gwent, and I wanted it to be over and done with quicker, but you was being hostile, blah, blah, blah. What have you got on today? I'm like, I got work to do. I got clients to see. And I left, blah, blah, blah. As soon as I walked out, my legal team's like, I got to have a bloody fag. So I'm like, what's wrong with this woman? She's like, I've never seen anything so illegal in my life. She's like, listen to me, chap, older lady. Once that person's sentenced and everything, sue them. I'm like, I've never had a legal person tell me to sue ever. She's like, I've never seen such nonsense. Sue them. And I'm thinking, I have to work with these people. I don't want to have anything. As long as they give me back my stuff, I'm cool. Oh. So I've left. Remember what the man said, you know? No reason to contact me again. I'm not on bail. I wasn't arrested and I wasn't charged. So I'm going to repeat that. I wasn't arrested. I wasn't charged. I wasn't on bail. I'm a free man. So the same way I walked in there for the voluntary interview, I walked out a free man. Yeah? The man's all asked me about what am I going to do. And if I needed to speak to you ever again, Mr. Sloely, we will go to your legal team. So what they're saying is if we ever have to need contact with you again, we'll speak to the lawyers. So I've gone about my business. But remember, I've resigned from my normal work with Delusion people. But I'm still dealing with the murders. So every young person that died from the 8th of October all the way until the 1st of November, I'm the one that dealt with that. So all the ones around there, I'm the one that dealt with the moving of the family, making sure people are not at risk, blah, blah, blah. I dealt with that. Yeah, so I'm still doing senior strategic work. You have to be vetted at the highest level to do those sort of work.
So you said that you resigned. What was the resignation about?
Because they're trying to suspend me. Right. So why am I going to allow you to suspend me like I'm a boy when I'm a consultant? What consultant gets suspended? Furthermore, keep your work. And if I feel like it after, I might sue the council as well for stressing me out, making it untenable for me to continue work. And I'll just sue them for that. Anyway, as I'm there helping people with murders, moving witnesses around the country, blah, 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 I then started getting email from partners as far as Wales. Hi Gwenton, with great regret, we're going to have to terminate your contract with immediate effect because of what has recently happened. What's recently happened? What have I done? They wouldn't tell me. And that just kept coming in week by week. I was getting it from all over the country. And I'm thinking, no. And then someone let slip, one of the people, I think it was Hampshire, let slip and said, the police have conference called us from Lewisham to say that your property was caught up in a drugs raid. My property. There weren't no drugs found in my property.
So they put your name with, they're affiliating you with drugs now and
listen to me.
A crime.
Let's go back and break it down again. And I'm going to use me and you as an example. So you're living in my house. I used to live there 5 years ago. If I get arrested for drugs somewhere else, what's that got to do with you?
No.
So how then could you be losing work and be nationally blacklisted for something that I am doing when I no longer live in that property? It's because of who I am. You understand what I'm saying? Because listen to the way they're wording it to the partners. They're saying to the partners, he hasn't been arrested. He hasn't been charged. He's not on bail. He's not a suspect. But we would just like you to know that a property connected to him was involved in a police operation. But you're not telling the people the truth that the person that you've got arrested used to live there 5 years previous. And this isn't happening by the man that interviewed me in the station, you know. Because he didn't know nothing about this. Up to December, when I contacted the man to ask him why he's nationally blacklisted me, he's like, Gwenton, that ain't nothing to do with me. I've got it in an email, sent it to you. Where the man's saying If I already told you, if I never needed to speak to you again, I'll contact your legal team. Whoever's doing that is nothing to do with me. It's his case. So if anyone had a reason to come after me, it should have been the man. He didn't know nothing about it. Then the team that I'm working with, relocating families and deal with the murders, they're like, Gwenton, you know what? It's wrong for us to continue working when you're being dealt this bad card by other people. So what you do, go and have a break, sort all of this mess out.
Have a break.
Yeah, have a break, not sack.
Who's paying your bills while you're...
But this is what I'm saying. Go and sort out all of this, get a good legal team and sort this out. Whenever you're ready to come back to work, you could come back to work. But the reason why I'm saying that to you is, if I was this dangerous person that they're misleading the country to be, why would the other team at a more sensitive level be telling me to go and have a break? Yeah? And then now they've took my stuff out of my house and prosecuted the kid with illegally. So now when they have to return my stuff, they're like, we could give you back some of it, but you can't have all. How can you tell someone that you've wrongfully gone in their house
that don't make any sense,
that they could have half of their stuff, but you can't have all of it back? That's some nonsense. But the reason why they can't give back my stuff, because they've illegally used it to prosecute the kid. The kid will probably get out of jail if he gets a proper good legal team. Because the prosecution have misled the court to believe that my stuff in my house that they never arrested me for, it was legal for me to have, is illegal for the kid to have. When it's nothing to do with the kid, it's my property. They took my posts. I had front page archives of all the newspaper and all the TV station I've been on my wall. They took all of that.
How can they use that to, like, what's that got to do with the kid?
Listen, they couldn't use that against anything, but they just took it because they're like, who you think you are? All these accolades. Move that off and mash up his house.
Who did you piss off, man? Who did you piss off?
To be honest, I was
You pissed off someone. What did you do, man?
I'm
What
gonna
did
be
you
honest,
do?
I'll tell you what I done. I done the right thing, bro. And the right thing is saving young people's lives and going above and beyond to help families. And if I was doing such a bad job, in 2016, I was commendated by the borough commander at the time, Kate Halpin, really nice lady, for my hard work. 4 months before I was raided illegally, I was awarded by the Assistant Commissioner, Martin Hewitt. So if I'm such a bad guy, why am I getting all these accolades? Also, they told ITV to come and do a documentary because I'm the best thing in the whole country to showcase what work I'm doing. So if I'm such a bad guy, why are you coming after me like that? And they've immediately offered to compensate me, immediately. So they've offered me compensation, they've offered me money for the loss of earnings. We're now in discussions for lifetime damages because this has ruined my character across the country. Because they've misled people to think of all sorts of nonsense. Yeah.
Okay, for all those that are locked in, this is the Wayne Jordon Show. We've got Gwenton Sloely here. Facebook, Instagram, what are you saying? I've got a really, if you just locked in, this is a really important story that we're breaking here. Gwenton Sloely's, his house has been raided. 10 years in the police force. Not in the police force.
Correct, bro.
Fake news. That's fake news. Yeah. 10 years working as a consultant.
Yeah. To local authority and the police.
Local authority and the police.
You understand? So I'm the guy, someone gets shot, stabbed, murdered, I go in, make sure people are safe, risk assess and move families around the country. That's my work that I do. So,
and then after 10 years, this has happened.
But the thing is, we need to be straight. Yeah.
This is just for the Facebook Live, so we're not going to delve into stuff.
Yeah, we need to be straight about this, and let's be honest about it. What it is showing how wrong intelligence could be destructive to people's lives. That's all this comes down to. It's not about I'm mad with the police or whatever else like that. It don't make sense. They're people just like me and you. Apart from you have some of them that go to work and lose control of their self and their ego.
How can you not be mad though, man? This is people.
I can't take it personal because
it's not personal, but man, like
you know what it is. If I internalize the madness, they've took everything from me, but they're gonna pay for it. I tell you that much. So it's like you work first and get paid later. So it's a delay payment. So they will pay for the damages. So I'm not really that mad about it. And there's some good police officers. So because there's some good police officers, I can't then put a blanket thing on the whole police force because you've got a few rogue ones that's gonna tarnish the rest of their name. There's some police officers that will come out their house and move people around in the middle of the night. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I'm not going to take away from those good ones that will risk their life when people are about to get murdered because a few of them have tried to get a bit excited and illegally come after me. So it's what it is. But this is what bad intelligence does. And bad intelligence leads to a lot of people ending up in prison, a lot of people ending up being criminalized because you're following bad intelligence. And
so is it bad intelligence or is it them trying to shut you down because you're getting big for your boots, because you're rising, you know?
That's all a part of it, because you have to look at this as well. If it was someone else's house that they went into that didn't have a public profile, would they have gone to the extent that they've gone to? No, they wouldn't. And that's what you need to look at, because you've gone into someone's house, you've realised you've gone to the wrong house. All you have to do is apologise, give the person back their stuff. Why have you gone across the whole country? Let's get it clear. The whole country to tell them my business. To the point where people in the community are coming up to me telling me my business. You've put me at risk. You understand? That's a data protection. You've breached my human rights there. I've not been found guilty of any crime, but you're making suggestions that I'm a criminal. And even now, my biggest problem with them is this. Even though they've done that and their suspect's gone to prison, they have not retracted what they've said to people. So the guy's gone to jail, he's been sentenced, everything. They've offered me compo, they've indirectly apologised, but they're not retracting their stuff.
2 sets, my bro. There's a memory card in there. Is that what you're looking for? There's a memory card in there. Shout out to Nadia Paints and Prosecco on the camera right now.
And our interior designer as well at the same time.
The plant, shout out the plant there. There would be a plant if it was Nadia. Nadia in the
plants
building.
come from Dubai, you know. Landed safely.
Okay, so you got it?
What do people say?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's where we're at now. Like, so, you know, so in terms of what happens now, like, you know, you've, you know, they've turned your yard upside down. They've stopped your earnings.
Yeah, they've stopped everything. But they're
assassinating your character.
They've tried to. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't assassinate someone on lies with no evidence.
Right.
You've tried to smear me. Let's not use assassination. That's a big word.
Okay.
You've tried to smear. It's like someone seeing a puddle and driving in the puddle, knowing that you're going to work and splashing you with dirty water. They know when that dirty water dries, you're going to have mud on your clothes. So what they've done is try to splash me with a lot of puddles across the country, but they didn't know that there's a jet washer to wash it off. The jet washer is called evidence and the truth. And the truth is, you've gone rogue, you've done something illegal, you're trying to pay me off on the quiet, and it can't happen. How many other people are out there suffering because someone's gone and done something illegal to them? Listen, let's be real now. When someone attacks you, who do you call for help? The law. If the law attacks you, who do you call? There's no one. There's no one to help. Listen, man. You see the first month that this happened to me, I wasn't sleeping proper. I'm like, rah. If these people could do this madness, what else are they doing? I'm out and I'm seeing police cars behind me and I'm having to press sports mode. Because I'm like, if you ever even think I'm on a dark road with them, I'm like, all right, cool, sports mode, just in case they try something fun. I'm not meant to feel like that. But that's how they've made me feel, because this whole case is so illegal that it's unbelievable. To the point where I'm getting tired of explaining it to people because no one can understand why and how this is being allowed to happen. It's sad.
Hectic.
It is sad, but then it comes back down to what you just said. Was you getting too big for your boots? I think so. Because if you've gone on a police raid to raid someone for drugs and weapons, as they claim, you don't find no drugs and weapons in the person's house. Why are you taking their newspaper clippings at their house?
What's that got to do with anything, for real? Yeah.
Why are you taking my pictures off my wall?
Yeah.
So these are the things people need to look deeper into. It's not about me and drugs, it's about who do you think you are? And we're going to show you that we could come in your yard and we'll mash up the place, and furthermore we'll nationally mash you up as well. But we don't mind paying you and apologising at the same time, but we're going to teach you a lesson. Meanwhile, we're doing our madness, and that's what they've done.
So was you not playing the 48 Laws of Power? Would you get too big for your boots? You know, never outshine no master, rule number 1.
All right, let me show you something about that now. By saving young people, it's either you save them or you don't save them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's no outshining no one when I'm trying to stop
course.
little kids dying on the street.
Of course.
And if that then breaks the laws by doing the right thing and actually making sure that a family is not going to get murdered tonight. I've had cases where I've knocked doors in this borough 10 times or more in the rain, and then the little youth ends up getting murdered. But when I see their mum know I've knocked there 10 times. Know I've come there in the rain, holding my paper over my head to make sure that the youth understands to relax himself. Then the month after, his friend dies as well, and I've just been on the phone trying to talk to his friend. Or I've gone to a 9-night, I'll give you an example. I've gone to a 9-night in Turnham. A little boy died. And I'm saying to the youths, yo, hopefully I'm not back here talking to any of you, or I'm back here again in the next week because one of you had died. 2 weeks after, another one's dead. And I'm in the same hall again, having another 9-night for somebody else is dead. So if that, by me doing the right thing, then gets me targeted, then what do you do? And then the reason why this is such an important topic, there's other people out there trying to do the right thing.
The right thing gets you.
But you have to
Gets you in
understand
trouble.
that you need to be careful as well. Because you might get to a point where somebody thinks you're too big for your boots. And because they can't find you doing nothing dirty, they will orchestrate madness against you to stress you out. This is called
Jordon Soul.
attack and mental stress. So let's do all of these things to him to break him, give him a breakdown, have him. I don't smoke, I don't drink, so you can't just send me on no substances. You understand? If I get too stressed, I'll go to sleep and relax. When I wake up, I'll strategically think how to get out the madness. You understand? If I was the person that smoked or drunk, I would have been getting drunk and smoking or taking drugs. I don't do none of them things.
And all of this work that you've been doing is on pause now, right?
It's
Most of it is on
most
pause.
of it's on pause because I
Which
tell
is-
you the
that is a
beautiful
shame.
thing. The beautiful thing, I've lost a lot of contracts. I've lost a lot of them because when the police contact you, you have to pull the plug, whether or not you believe the person's guilty of whatever nonsense they've told you. I've got a few people that are on pause because they don't believe this crap. But the minute they have a retraction to say, look, the guy weren't nothing to do with this, we made a mistake, I'm back out there like nothing never happened.
So they've meek milled you. I'm gonna put out a new term, bruv. They've meek milled you. They've created a problem by doing that. By this, you know, by them doing this, dare I say it, they've made you even more powerful.
To be honest, what I've got from this, and I have to give thanks to everyone watching that has been there over the past 3 months, especially over the past few weeks. The community's had me 100.
That's what I'm trying to say, yeah.
Hard. When I mean the community's had me hard to the point where I'm having to beg people to calm down. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're like, what?
The community strikes back.
Listen, brother, they're talking like, if they've gone after you, we're all at risk because we thought you were safe. So right now we're panicking. So let me know what we have to do. People offering to pay for lawyers for me, the whole 9 yards. And when you look at that, then you think, you know what, the little extra mile I went to help people when I was out there, this is when you see that the love is being returned back to you now, that you've been put in a position that is no fault of your own. And it gives you hope again in mankind to think that humans can hold each other down. Because I'm telling you, people have had me 100%. 100. Even certain people that I didn't expect to have my back, they're ringing me like, Gwenton, what you need? What you want me to do? And I'm like, whoa, me and you weren't even like that.
I want to shout out like one or two of them before the interview's done. But what's a shame as well is that, like you say, you know, your career has been a testament to doing the right thing. You know, and all the youngers that are looking up to see this now, wow, he's doing the right thing, but then they try to shut him down, or they've shut, you know, blah blah. What's the point?
But not shut me down. And because you can't shut them down.
They can't shut you down, but
so,
this is...
Yeah, so I don't want no young ones sitting out there getting angry because they think that I've been shut down. I can't be shut down.
No.
The thing is now, you just don't work within certain perimeters. That's what it comes down to. Because I've got a lot of work that I do that don't have nothing to do with police or local authority. You understand? I just go out, do my work, and I'm like a ghostwriter. Because when you see people writing songs for people, I deliver a lot of training for people. I'm not going to put them on blast, but I'm the ghost trainer across the country.
So you can still be active.
I still eat regardless, because there are a lot of people out here that draw down big contracts and they're like, yo, Gwent and boom, come clean this for me. So I always eat no matter what happens. I'm here, innit? I'm the one that does this job. So same way a man might write a song for another man and the man ends up at #1. I don't care if you end up at #1 or you end up getting a MB or OB or whatever because of work that I've put in. I've been paid, I've done the right thing and helped certain people, so I'm happy to see you win as well.
How has this impacted your family, Gwenton?
If I was to be real with you, it's to a point where I leave the house and people think I'm not going to come back. Because you have to understand, when something is so illegal and so straight cut and people are trying to make it a bendy line, you have to start getting concerned. You understand? And my family are not like me. I'm here. You understand? Some of us are born warriors. Some of us are born warriors. You understand? So we got warrior and worrying. And I have to tone it down a little bit because the more that I go hard, my family get more worried. So now I relax more. I don't really come outside too much. I might jump in an Uber. So I'm rolling like I'm a roadman now because of certain things where I'm in an Uber. So I travel in an Uber and read my newspaper because I don't want my car getting flagged up so much. Or I go and get a next car and drive that. Or I might go and buy back a bike next month and just roll on a bike. So these people put me in a position where I'm rolling like I'm illegal just to evade certain sort of stupidness. So yeah, it has impacted me. I'm not going to lie to you and say it hasn't, because it has. And it's calmed down a little bit now because I've had certain senior police officers ring me and apologise and make sure that I push it over the line. And these police at the level they're at contacting me kind of put things at ease, although I'm still never going to be at ease around these people, but it has kind of eased the tension a little bit. And the media as well, I'm not going to lie, certain media people have had my back 100%. They're kicking off because they're like, after all the good work you've done, with this nonsense, people are trying to tear you down. Now we're not having this. Especially ITV. ITV's had me 150%. The staff from there ring me over Christmas, ring me New Year's, made sure I was okay. You understand? And certain other people from certain other big channel, Channel 4, Channel 5, have had me. You understand? And they've been there. Although they're journalists, you can't trust them 100%, but they've made sure you were okay. Certain things that you'll expect certain family members or real friends to do. Same way you hollered me, bro, boom, what am I hearing? Are you good? Certain people you expect to do that, they're liking stuff and putting love hearts and emojis, but they're not even sending a text. And then you got certain people thinking you're gonna get a big payout and they're like, oh, bro, how you doing? Like, remember, I love you and that. You're like, yo, stop the crap, man, 'cause I ain't got no money. But they think you've had like a big payout and they start thinking of diamond rings and Bentleys and that. But no one will understand. And to be honest, I wouldn't wish this on no one because what has happened to me over the past couple months has been a test for me as well, to think, are you able to withstand this mentally, what has happened? Because it's destroying. The same people that were in my house, I've worked with them for nearly 10 years. And imagine someone raiding your house and smashing up your house, and then when the guilt starts riding them, they're calling you in confidence and apologising. Same people that have caused the internal damage.
Why in confidence?
Because they're not allowed to talk to me. They're not allowed to talk to me, and obviously it's their job, so they can't go against their job. I'm not gonna make no one go there, because I can't feed you when you lose your job and your pension. So
Real talk.
a lot of them have apologised to me, or they've gone through other people that talk to me and said, tell Gwenton I'm sorry. We didn't mean to do it. We totally messed up, blah, blah, blah. And I hope he gets a good outcome out of it. So,
what is that, like, what are we looking for, Gwenton? What is the outcome?
to be honest, there's
What's
no...
the ideal outcome?
There's no figures, because it's like you're trying to get me kidnapped, Wayne. There's no one ain't holding me for no ransom, but there's no figure on a man's stress and trauma. You understand? But right now, I need to hold a nice holiday when this is done. Be able to recharge and come back fresh and decide what I'm gonna do, because they have put me at a space now where I'm thinking, do I even want this again? It's sad to say, but then I walk away and the youth start dropping like flies, like what they were doing last year. Then I'm thinking, these people have forced me to walk away from this, but then I still got my family to think about. You understand? So I come back out there, it's like, you got certain players, they retire from football, but they know they've still got it, and they go back on the pitch, come out of retirement, like, bam, 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 3 goals, and then people are like, oh, he's back. I don't want to come back on the pitch and cause any more trouble. You understand? So if I come back on the pitch, I'm going to do what I need to do, help people. I'd rather advise now. I'm going to step away from the front bit and advise the next people coming up, but I don't want to advise them too much where they end up in danger, like what I've been put in danger. Because when people look at what's happening to me, they think that only rap stars or movie stars or other business people could get in this problem. Anyone could get in the problem. And it comes from jealousy. You understand? Jealousy and ego could get you in some serious trouble.
You've never seen 2 birds crash in the sky, so there's no point in jealousy. Every man can eat and fly out here, you know what I mean? But so, like, I just want to ask, so just before I forget this question, for the next generation that are coming up, that have been looking at you and been thinking, yeah, like, this is the route that I want to take, what advice have you got for them now, bearing in mind what's happening, etc., blah, blah, you know, what kind of things would you say to a man that's saying, Gwenton, you know, I want to be...
I'll say to anyone coming in this field already in it, try to stay as independent as you can. Get privately funded. Because when you get privately funded, no one can't tell you nothing. Or raise your own money. You understand? So be self-sufficient. Do for self. Don't rely on any bodies to give you money. Private funding the best way. Tax write-off. Get people to pay you their tax write-off, even if it's your own family members that want to give you some of their tax when it's time to do the tax return. Survive that way, because it's the easiest way to do. And other communities have been doing that for decades, and that's why they've got through, because they put their tax back in their community. So we need to be self-sufficient and always have a backup plan, A, B, and C. Because when A stops working, make sure that B is there to kick in. When B don't work, make sure C is there to kick in. And that's why I've been able to survive. I've learned how to fish from the best. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I will be good regardless what happens. So I'm not worried about that. It's just about, I've had to come public to clear my name, because they won't do the retraction and expose certain evidence. I'm a private man. Everyone that knows that, certain people were ringing me up to last night like, what are you doing? Because I'm private about everything. No one don't know nothing about me. I'm not even, you understand, I'm the invisible guy. But there becomes a time where if this is my exit, I'm gonna exit showing why I've left the game, you understand? So, but self-sufficient, do for self, community, start helping each other out. Instead of going and wasting money on a bag of weed, help someone around there trying to do something positive. Stop burning out your lungs with the cigarettes. the £10 pack of cigarettes,
Jordon
go and invest that in someone else. You understand? You look at certain people over the holidays, they can't eat or whatever. I send a lot of money back to certain countries, Gambia, Africa. I've sent bags of clothes to Haiti and whatever else. It hasn't affected me. I got boxes of trainers or clothes or whatever, and someone else might benefit that. I'll send it, whatever. You understand? Don't look for no glory of that. Help build churches and schools in this country and abroad. You understand? But you don't go around talking. Certain people, they do stuff and then they want to put their name on it or take pictures next to it. I've done a lot and helped a lot of people behind the scenes and tried to contribute here and there where I can. You understand? So it's what it is. Give back to people, because when it's time for you now to get support, them same people there will be there to help you.
Just before we wrap up, you know, just kind of delving into your character a bit. Like, I actually interviewed you, you know, what, 2-3 months ago, whilst this was going on.
Yeah. You had it fresh.
I had it fresh.
Yeah.
But that's not even the direction I'm going down, bro. Like, when you came 2-3 months ago, as usual, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt you was a little bit guarded, but you're positive still. After all this is going on, all this has happened, bro. Like, what is the key to remaining positive throughout all of this? Because you're still, like, you're coming for today, you're smiling.
I'll be real with you, Wayne, yeah? I come from nothing, brother, yeah? And when I say nothing, no gas, no electric, no fridge, no nothing, bro. So to be in England winning, I've already won. So no matter what no one could do to me, bro, I'm a British citizen now. And I'm here helping, saving young people's lives. I've been out there on the pavement. I've been college, I've been uni. I've been on the pavement, seen man's brains get licked out. I go in the jails, help my friend that's doing 19 years IPP, and I've got them out of jail. I've got them, their risks reduced and all of that. When I go in the jail, all my friends have got the clippings of newspaper of me on their wall. That means more to me than anything else. So that's what keeps me going, that even throughout this fight and whatever else, I can't break a next man's hope because I'm showing that I've been broken. You get what I'm saying? So there's always, in my life, I'm so blessed and protected spiritually by the ancestors, where although to everyone else this looks like a madness, to me this is a protection in a disguise. And I just have to look in every madness as a blessing and try work with that. At the time when it's happening, we're humans, so I'm internalizing some of the madness. The devil sometimes works through certain people, so certain people have had the devil, or whatever we want to call it, jump inside their spirit, and they've tried to inflict that on me. I can't then participate and take part in your darkness. You understand? So I just have to keep it as bright as I can. And in the next couple months, I'll be back here saying to you, brother, I'm good, everything's nice. And that's it, because I know it will be good. The people have got no choice but to do the right thing. There's too much evidence against them. And I'm here, you understand? So always stay positive. The fight continues. If there's no fight, you're not doing that right. That's the slogan that I'm working with for 2019. If there's no fight against you, you're not doing that right. You need to work a bit harder. Yeah?
Gwenton, thank you again for coming down.
Thanks
you know
for having me, man.
You know, you're on many platforms. So I humbly say thank you for always blessing this platform and coming down and you know, and sharing your story. And you know, the community strikes back.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The community strikes back, and we'll leave it at that. The Wayne Jordon Show. It's been another amazing episode with the one and only Gwenton Sloely. You know, we're gonna continue following his story and keep it moving. Motivated all day, money and dreams. Keep it moving.
Real dreams.
The Wayne Jordon Show.
Believe in yourself, get ready for a new start. You write the script, give yourself a new part.
Shout out to everyone on Facebook.
Instagram shut down. You must avoid the show. Cause we're older, a little bit wiser. We listen to our head, but the heart's the advisor. No matter how dark that the skies are, close your eyes and think to yourself.